Hola, and welcome to a Math SL video. And in this topic, we will be covering trigonometry. Now, I know that Mr. Harris's class, we already took the test, but this is just, for future references if you guys want to study for the exam in 2020, or for Mr. Howard's class, we still haven't taken the test. So basically, this is a really common problem that comes with trigonometry, and it's word problems. So, if you go through the book, problems, especially with ships and directions and compasses, are like extremely prevalent. Ship B, the question says, ship B is 50 kilometers north away from ship A. Ship A leaves at a bearing of 50 degrees to island D. It is 20 kilometers away from the island. Find the distance from ship B to the island. Now, it does seem intimidating, but let's just break it down together. So first of all, let's see what they're asking. Let's see what the information they're giving us. So they're giving us that ship B is 50 kilometers north away from ship A. So let's just draw, if we draw a compass, right? Or like a plane, let's just assume that ship A is in the origin. And then it says ship B is 50 kilometers north. So if it was 50 kilometers north from ship A, then it would be right there. And then we would assume that this distance is 50 kilometers. Alright, so the next piece of information that they give us is the direction of ship A. So it says here, ship A leaves at a bearing of 50 degrees to island E. So whenever you see the word bearing, you have to understand that this is a form of direction in which you have to assume that the 50 degrees is from north. And from north, you move clockwise. So if it's a bearing of 50 degrees, then you start at north, and then you move 50 degrees clockwise. So then it'll form this angle of 50 degrees. And then it says here to island E. So you know that this is going to be island E. Okay? Now, then they give you another piece of information. It says it is 20 kilometers away from the island. So you know that this distance right here from ship A to island E is 20 kilometers. Find the distance from ship B to the island. So, as you can see, this is the distance that we are trying to find. So we are trying to find this distance. Alright, so this is basically the introduction of this video is how to visualize the problem, and so you can walk yourself through it during the exam. Now, I want you guys to pause the video and actually try to solve for x, and so you guys can see where you guys are stuck on and what you guys are having problems with. Alright, so after solving this is how your work is supposed to look like. So, as you guys might have known, if you have a length, an angle, and a length, and you want to find the length opposite to the angle, then you obviously use the law of cosines. So, the law of cosines formula, which you guys can find in the data booklet, is a squared, or, my bad, it's c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. So, now all you guys have to do is just plug in numbers into your calculator. So, as you guys can see here, x squared, which is the length I'm trying to find, is 50, which is the distance from ship A to ship B, squared, plus 20 squared, which is the distance from ship A to the island, minus 2 of 50 times 20 times cosine of the angle, which is the bearing of 50 degrees. And then after you guys plug it into your calculator, and you guys plug in the numbers correctly, you're supposed to get 2,771.44 is x squared. But remember, people do mistakes and assume that this is x. But you guys have to remember that you have to square root it in order to get x. Because that's the length. Because, 2,771 kilometers doesn't logically make sense. So you guys have to remember to square root, as it's really important. Also, another tip for you guys is this cosine 50 right here is very important, because a lot of people, they mix up their radians and degrees in the calculator. So you have to pay attention that whenever you have to be aware of which mode you're in, because if my calculator was in radians mode and I did cosine of 50, then I would get a completely different answer. Okay, so this concludes a video on trigonometry, and I hope you guys learned something from this. Please comment on what you guys want me to take a video on next. And like, subscribe, and peace.